I love him madly, madly. Truly, I would die without him." From the Countess of Kilmartin to her sister, Eloise Bridgerton, 1 week after Francesca's wedding. "I declare, Francesca, you are the healthiest expectant mother I have ever laid eyes upon." Francesca smiled at her mother-in-law, who had just entered the garden of the St. James's mansion they now shared. Overnight, it seemed, Kilmartin House had become a household of women. First, Janet had taken up residence, and then Helen, Michael's mother. It was a house full of Stirling females, or at least those who had acquired the name in marriage, and it all felt so different. It was strange. She would have thought that she'd sense John's presence, feel him in the air, see him in the surroundings they'd shared for 2 years. But instead, he was simply gone, and the influx of women had changed the tone of the house entirely. Francesca supposed that was a good thing. She needed the support of women right now. But it was odd, living among women. There were more flowers now, vases everywhere it seemed, and there was no longer any lingering smell of John's cheroot, or the sandalwood soap he'd favoured. Kilmartin House now smelled of lavender and rosewater, and every whiff of it broke Francesca's heart. Even Michael had been strangely distant. Oh, he came to call, several times a week, if one cared to count, which Francesca had to admit she did. But he wasn't there, not in the way he had been before John's death. He wasn't the same, and she supposed she ought not to castigate him for that, even if only in her mind. He was hurting too. She knew that. She reminded herself of it when she saw him, and his eyes were distant. She reminded herself of it when she didn't know what to say to him, and when he didn't tease her. And she reminded herself of it when they sat together in the drawing-room and had nothing to say. She'd lost John, and now it seemed she'd lost Michael too.